found out later, I found out, I don't know, 2 years after I did it, that I was in a big hit. And I had no clue what people were talking about. I really didn't remember. I know the guy was Magnusson and he was a doctor. That must be an ancient navigation system. The best we can hope for is that navigation systems fall on the enemy. But my thought about video games and acting and so forth, I wouldn't know. I really have no clue about that world. I'm sorry. I think I knew it was some sort of a game because it was the people that did it was called Valve. I knew they had a sort of a track record, but I didn't know. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I mean, the character was drawn. It wasn't based on me. So I just did the voiceover. I wouldn't mind doing another one, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to seek it out. They'd have to seek me out. No, forgive me for interrupting tea time. I'll just step out if it's more convenient.
What is your absolute favorite thing to do? Except acting.
You got me there. Well, anymore. I used to play golf. That wasn't very enjoyable, though, as I sucked at it. I guess cooking would come to mind. I like cooking.
You do? Do you cook often? That's cool. What is your favorite, food to cook?
No, I don't have a favorite.
You like everything.
My diet is restricted, so that I had my time in the kitchen. I cooked on a fishing boat when I was 17. I cooked for 6 guys on a fishing boat. And I'll tell you a real quick story about that.
Sure.
Because this is true. I could cook hamburgers. I know how to fry a hamburger. I worked in a hamburger joint, but that's about it. I never cooked, home cooked meals. But I learned real quick. The captain I found, he was really hard to find, elusive guy. And I said, I heard you might be looking for a cook. And he goes, he plays it real close to the vest. He goes, no, maybe. I just waited. And he goes, why don't you come down here tomorrow and make me lunch? And I went, okay. And I figured, how can you screw up a bowl of tomato soup and a tuna fish sandwich? You can't.
You can't.
So that's what I made him, and he hired me. He was not interested in quiche Lorraine or anything like that. He wanted just a simple soup and sandwich. But then when I was on the boat, that was a nightmare actually for a while. But I brought the joy of cooking with me, but you couldn't tell the crew that you had a cookbook. If they saw you reading a recipe, then you weren't really a cook. You get my drift.
Yeah.
It was like you're cheating. So I found, I also had a Playboy magazine that I would keep in my bunk. And I'd be down in my bunk so I didn't have to do any on-deck chores. I was the cook.
Yeah.
So when I'd be down in my bunk and someone would come down and they'd see me looking at my Playboy magazine. And, but what they didn't know is that in the middle of the Playboy magazine was the joy of cooking. And I'm learning how to make a cobbler.
Oh my
So
God.
I did a lot of my recipes by looking at the titty magazine. It was a fun experience. Magnusson Gaming.
Amazing.
Magnusson Gaming. I enjoyed it very much. I think that I like your sensibility. you know, you obviously have a love for actors, and it was you were easy to talk to. I enjoyed it.